Well, guys, we'll get started. Good morning. Welcome to the November 18th Technical Review Committee meeting. The first item on our agenda this morning is the meeting minutes for November 4th. Do we have any questions or comments on those minutes? Can I get a recommended motion from the dais?
Motion to approve.
Can we get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so we'll move right on into the meeting unless we have any announcements. Anybody have any announcements this morning? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is take our continuances. We have 3 continuances this morning. Item number 2, that's Twin Palm subdivision. Can we get a recommended motion to move this to the Technical Review Committee for December 2nd?
Motion to continue?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll move on to number 3. This is also a continuance request to December the 16th. This is Community Plaza. We can get a motion to continue.
Motion to continue.
Second.
Any opposed? So we'll move on to number 9. This is Cook Wetland Fill and Bridge Highway 20 Freeport, and this is being requested to be continued to December 2nd. Get a motion from the dais?
Motion to continue.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we'll move on to the rest of our agenda. The next item on the agenda is number 4, South Walton Community Town Center Mixed Use. This project's been reviewed by Stephen. Stephen, if you would announce it for us.
Yes, ma'am. This is a major development order application submitted by David Forstrom on behalf of Connie Bailey, requesting approval to develop 92 townhome units, a restaurant, and mixed-use structure containing commercial and limited lodging on 11.3 plus or minus acres, with the future land use of mixed use and the zoning of Town Center 1. The subject property can be identified by the parcel IDs in your staff report. If I could have that entered into the record, please.
So entered.
Great. This has just recently been resubmitted. Staff has had opportunity to review, and planning has no further comments. The Public Works latest comments, as well as the response to previous staff comments, have been included outside of the staff report. If I could have those entered into the record as well.
We have those, and it's been accepted.
Okay. Unfortunately, the folks on Zoom do not have those in front of them. I believe the applicant is attending via Zoom, so if the board has any questions for him, I believe he's available.
The applicant wish to speak or have any questions?
This is David Forstrom. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID, followed by pound.
I'm sorry, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. I don't have any questions. I know engineering had a few remaining comments. I submitted those, and I just want to know if if they're good with those comments, if we could either approve or approve with conditions if there's anything remaining. But I have no other questions.
Thank you. Bill, do you have any issues with us moving this project forward based on the responses you have? Bill, are you there?
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Are you good with moving this forward, or do you have, any reasons you want us to continue this?
I mean, I think we can probably address what's remaining, so I feel confident we can move this forward, with the condition that Stephen stated. I think he stated we can conditionally approve this, subject to, satisfactory response to these comments that are remaining.
Thank you. Stephen, that be your recommended motion?
That would be, yes.
So if we could get a
And
motion,
so I'll put that into the form of a motion, this chair.
okay, so could we get a recommended motion from the dais? Move this project forward conditionally with comments that's outstanding being satisfied?
I'll put that into a form of a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? So this project will move forward. So we'll go to our next item, number 5. That, number 5 has been withdrawn at the November 4th. We believe it's probably advertised, is why we have it on the agenda. So moving to number 6, Hawks Landing. This is a request to approve by final order. It's been reviewed by Stephen. Stephen, if you would announce it for us, please.
Yes, this is a major development order application submitted by Nautilus Civil Engineers Incorporated on behalf of South Star Communities requesting to construct 150 townhomes and 4 single-family residential homes and associated infrastructure on 38.85 plus or minus acres. The property has a future land use of conservation residential and mixed use with the zoning district classification of conservation residential and village mixed use. The property can be identified by the parcel IDs in the staff report, which I would like entered into the record, please.
So moved.
Okay. Planning has no outstanding comments. I don't believe there are any other staff comments outstanding as well. There are some concerns that I'm hoping can be addressed this morning. In particular, there is an ongoing conversation regarding the mosquito control ditches and as it relates to the development and easements. So I would like to give the applicant an opportunity to address those concerns that have been brought up by other staff.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Morning, Curtis.
Morning. Curtis Smith, SMITH. Actually read this real quick. There was an email chain that started by Anna and Scott Rosenheim. Weighed in on it, but it was regarding easement for the mosquito control. That's something we always handle at plating. I'm not exactly sure if there's anything we need to do. We've never done anything in terms of this on DO phase, I don't believe, but we always assign an easement for mosquito control along with utility companies on the final plat. This particular project has mosquito control through the private property area as well as through the right-of-way. So on the private property area, mosquito control would just be named member on the plat for easement dedication for access and maintenance through the common areas. In terms of this project, it's a town-owned project, so everything not inside of a building footprint is a common area. So they would have easement for access and maintenance. I'm not sure if there's anything else we need to do at this point for that.
Was the easement shown on the site plan?
The easement on plat for a townhome is everything outside of the building footprints. It's the common areas and the rights of way. So, you know, if you put a line on it, you can put a line on it, but it's just covered in the language that there's a perpetual easement of all rights of way and common areas is how that's handled. And that's for all the utility companies and Walton County Mosquito Control. So if we want to put something in the DO about it, we can, or I can just put a note on the drawings if that's what we want to do, but that's something that will be handled at plat.
Stephen, which would you prefer?
I have no preference. The concern was brought up by Anna and Mr. Rosenheim, so whatever they're most comfortable with, I would support.
Okay. So, if that's the only outstanding comments that we're dealing with on this project, mosquito control?
I believe so, yes.
Stephen, this is Anna with Public Works. After conversations with staff, I know, that was outside of our normal area of review. It's just something we noticed. Obviously, Public Works would prefer easement lines shown, but after discussions with our surveyor and legal, we are going to defer to the mosquito control representative on what they would like to see since they are the maintenance entity.
I have reached out to mosquito control. I have not heard back as of this morning. But I feel confident that it's something that can be handled, provided the applicant does as well, that if mosquito control asks for the easement to be shown on the DO set, that we could conditionally move this forward.
So that be your recommended motion?
Yes, ma'am.
If we could get a recommended motion from the dais? We conditionally approve this depending on what mosquito control would like to see for this easement.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so this one, we're moving this one forward, and conditionally approving it to get the easement as mosquito control would like to see it. Okay. So our next project on the agenda is Windswept, that's number 7, Windswept Phase 6 LSA. This project was reviewed by me, and Stephen is going to present it for me.
Okay. This is a future land use amendment and rezoning application submitted by Stephen Tatum on behalf of Northwest Florida Properties Trust, LLC, requesting to change the land use, future land use to, or of general agriculture to estate residential, and estate residential, to rural residential and a zoning district from general agriculture to estate residential to rural village, on 62.33 plus or minus acres. The project site can be identified by the parcel number identified in the staff report, which I would like to enter into the record.
So moved.
Right. It appears that there are no outstanding comments and that the proposed does satisfy the comprehensive plan and the land development code. The applicant is here to address any questions that you may have. If you don't have any for me, I will leave it up to him.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Stephen Tatum, T-A-T-U-M. I don't have anything to add. Staff report was very accurate and on point. Good job. And so unless the board has questions for me,
I would like you to clarify about the entrance that you mentioned to me.
Good point. Even though this is a part of the Windswept original development, which we have 49 units remaining, and we're actually going to propose another 31 at the DO's plating stage, we are not going to be a part of the Windswept Subdivision Homeowners Association, and we will not access through their roads. We'll have our own separate entrance off of
J.W. Hollington.
J.W. Hollington, yeah. So, but.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate that. Okay. So we'll take public comments at this time before we make a recommendation. Who's raised? Amanda, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, ma'am. You'd like to speak on this project?
Yes, I am a property owner in Windswept, and at the meeting the other night that the Owners Association had, there were concerns about it, but I think he addressed it by it being a separate entrance, and not a part of the, current HOA that's already been set up. But I think we also have concerns about stormwater, adding that many more homes, almost doubling, the lot. We had concerns about stormwater management. And then I think the whole community, off of J.W. Hollington has concerns about how adding that much more traffic to the intersection of 20 and J.W. Hollington. That's an incredibly dangerous intersection. So I just was hoping that maybe there were some ways that the state and the county could look at that intersection, by adding that many more cars. I worry about that. And I think that other neighbors had the same concerns.
Okay, thank you for your comments. That all will be looked at the technical stage of development. So at that time, we will have a traffic review as well as a stormwater review in which it will be required to meet the land development code and the comprehensive plan. So we will definitely take that into account at that time.
Great. Thank you so much for letting me speak. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So, Stephen, your recommended motion?
Yes, staff recommends approval and moving this project forward to Planning Commission.
So can we get a motion from the dais?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any opposed? All say aye for the approval, please.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to number 8, Girl Scout RV Park, and this project's been reviewed by Bob Baronti. This is large-scale future land use amendment with rezoning. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. This application has been submitted by Chocta and the request is to change the future land use of public facilities and institutional to general ag, and the zoning district from institutional to general agricultural on 1,635 plus or minus acres. The parcel numbers are described in your staff report. All land use code requirements have been met. All comprehensive plan requirements have been met. This is a request to take it out of the quasi-public Girl Scouts hands into private ownership and to slightly increase the RV area, but nothing significant. Most will still remain undeveloped as it currently is. There are no outstanding comments. Mr. Steiner is here to speak if you have any questions for him, and I'd like to turn the staff report into the record, please.
So moved for the staff report. Thank you. Mr. Steiner, you wish to speak?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I have no further comments.
Okay. Do we have anybody on Zoom wanting to speak? Any public comments? Thank you. So, Bob, you recommend a motion?
Recommend motion to approve and move to the appropriate planning commission meeting for its public hearing.
Can we get a recommended motion from the dais?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? So we'll move this project forward to the Planning Commission. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
And that is the end of our agenda. So we're adjourned. Thank you. Thank you.